Jai, Hare Krishna, and we are continuing with the Perfection of Yoga by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, page number 33, starting chapter 5, Yoga as Freedom from Duality and Designation. Okay. This material world is a world of duality. At one moment we are subjected to the heat of the summer season, and at the next moment the cold of winter. Or at one moment we're happy, and at the next moment distressed. At one moment honored, and the next moment dishonored. In the material world of duality, it is impossible to understand one thing without understanding its opposite. It is not possible to understand what honor is unless I understand dishonor. Similarly, I cannot understand what misery is if I have never tasted happiness. Nor can I understand what happiness is unless I have tasted misery. One has to transcend such dualities. But as long as this body is here, these dualities will also be here. Insofar as one strives to get out of bodily conceptions, not out of the body, but out of bodily conceptions, one has to learn to tolerate such dualities. In the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna informs Arjuna that the duality of distress and happiness is due to the body alone. It's like a skin disease or skin itch. Just because there is itching, one should not be mad after it to scratch it. We should not go mad or give up our duty just because mosquitoes bite us. There are so many dualities one has to tolerate, but if the mind is fixed in Krishna consciousness, all these dualities will seem insignificant. How is it that one can tolerate such dualities? Jnana vijnana triptatma kutashto vijitendriyah yukta ityuchate yogi samaloshrashma kanchana. Quote, a person is said to be established in self-realization and is called a yogi or mystic when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it be pebbles, stones, or gold, as the same. Unquote. Bhagavad Gita 6.8. Jnana means theoretical knowledge, and vijnana refers to practical knowledge. For instance, a science student has to study theoretical scientific conceptions as well as applied science. Theoretical knowledge alone will not help. One has to be able to also apply this knowledge. Similarly, in yoga, one should have not only theoretical knowledge, but practical knowledge. Simply understanding I am not this body, in quotes, I am not this body, and at the same time acting in a nonsensical way will not help. There are so many societies where the members seriously discuss Vedanta philosophy while smoking and drinking and enjoying a sensual life. It will not help if one only has knowledge theoretically. This knowledge must be demonstrated. One who truly understands I am not this body will actually reduce his bodily necessities to a minimum. When one increases the demands of the body while thinking I am not this body, then what use of that knowledge? What is the use of that knowledge? A person can only be satisfied when there is jnana and vijnana side by side. So jnana is knowledge, vijnana is realization. They should be side by side. When a person is situated on the practical level of spiritual realization, it should be understood he is actually situated in yoga. It is not that one should continue to attend yoga classes and yet remain the same throughout his life. There must be practical realization. And what is the sign of that practical realization? The mind will be calm and quiet, and no longer agitated by the attraction of the material world. Thus, self-controlled, one is not attracted by the material glitter, and he sees everything, pebbles, stones, or gold, as the same. In the material civilization, so much paraphernalia is produced just to satisfy the senses. These things are produced under the banner of material advancement. He who is situated in yoga sees such paraphernalia as just so much rubbish in the street. Moreover, Suhrin mitra yudasina madhyashtha dveshya bandhushu sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabudhir vishishyate. Quote, a person is said to be still further advanced when he regards all, the honest well-wisher, friends and enemies, the envious, the pious, the sinner, and those who are indifferent and impartial, with an equal mind. Unquote. Bhagavad Gita 6.9. Wow. For me, this is a very advanced level. This is a very advanced level to see with an equal mind an honest well-wisher, friends and enemies, the envious, the pious, the sinner, those who are indifferent and partial. Of course, like, they're all spiritual souls, they're all parts and parcel of Krishna. That's great, but I guess I need some vijnana, some realization in this department. Okay, there are different kinds of friends. There is Suhrit, who is by nature a well-wisher and is always desiring one's welfare. Mitra refers to an ordinary friend, and Udasina is one who is neutral. In this material world, someone may be my well-wisher, friend, or neither friend or enemy, but neutral. Someone else may serve as a mediator between me and my enemies, and in this verse he is called Madhyashtha. One may also see someone as pious and another as sinful according to his own calculations. But when he is situated in transcendence, all of these, friends, enemies, or whatever, cease to exist. When one becomes actually learned, he does not see any enemy or any friend, because in actuality no one is my enemy, no one is my friend, no one is my father, no one is my mother, etc. We are all simply living entities playing on the stage in the dress of a father, mother, children, friend, enemy, sinner, saint, etc. It is like a great drama with so many characters playing their parts. However, on the stage a person may be an enemy or whatever, but off the stage all the actors are friends. I love this drama analogy because I used to perform in theatrics since childhood. So I really can relate to this. Nice, awesome. Similarly, with these bodies, we're playing on the stage of material nature, and we attach so many designations to one another. I may be thinking this is my son, but in actuality I cannot beget any son. It is not possible. At utmost, I can only beget a body. It is not within any man's power to beget a living entity. Merely by sexual intercourse, a living entity cannot be begotten. The living entity must be placed in the emulsification of secretions. This is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thus, all the multifarious relationships between bodies are just so much stage play. One who is actually realized and has actually attained yoga no longer sees these bodily distinctions. Jai. So we have completed chapter number 5, and tomorrow we will start with the 6th chapter called The Fate of the Unsuccessful Yogi. And I would really like to start that chapter from a clean, from the start, because it's long and it's a whole different topic. And yes, let's start fresh tomorrow. So thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description, as always. You can always make your life perfect by in the link there's there's three three links within this link. You can purchase it on Kindle, you can order it hard copy from Bhaktivedanta Archives library, or you can read it on the Vani Source. Vani Source is a place where you can find all the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. Of course, this knowledge is best to be accepted by donating something, but it is still freely distributed to those who are in need and who it's just the greatest charity, right? We have read, or have I read somewhere else, that